Hello, I'm Alwin Wan, and I will present Quipu, a Quechua language-based knowledge graph. And the structure of my presentation, I will start with the motivation, continue with the problem statement, define my approach, some next steps and ideas, and finally a takeaway. I'm currently studying at the University of Innsbruck in Austria and mainly research on knowledge graphs, semantic web, and knowledge creation. I really recommend to read this book. You can buy it on Amazon, and you could contact me by my Twitter account. Why I'm doing this? Uh, First of all, I want to remind what means a Quipu. A Quipu is an Incan knowledge base and perhaps a writing system that represents statistical and narrative information. This Kibo was developed during the Inca Empire, perhaps before, and it's currently still used by some Quechua towns in the Andes. And what are knowledge graphs? They are important asset for many companies like Amazon, eBay, Facebook, Google, Microsoft, etc., because they all want to store, maintain, and keep knowledge. So before the economy was based in material economy, so nowadays we are based on our economy is based on the knowledge. So as much knowledge you have, as more rich you are probably. And it today the main source of wealth is knowledge, basically. Here we can see a small knowledge.
Wouldn't it be amazing if Google could understand that the words that you use when you're doing a search, well, they aren't just words. They refer to real things in the world. That a building is a building, and an animal is an animal, and that they're not just random strings of characters. If we can understand that those words are talking about those real world things, then we could do a better job of getting you just the content that you want off the web.
The way Google is trying to build information about real-world connections is by building a knowledge graph. The knowledge graph is about collecting information about objects in the real world. The object could be a person, could be a book, could be a movie, and many other types of things. For example, for a famous person, we collect relevant data about them, such as their date of birth or how tall they are. We can also connect that person to closely related objects in the knowledge graph.
So, and these knowledge graphs are based on simple statements or triples. A triple is defined by by the subject, predicate, and object. So basically, a statement can be converted into a triple. The University of Altiplano is located in the city of Puno can be transformed into a triple. The University of Altiplano is the subject, is located in is the predicate, and the city of Puno is the object. The nice thing of this structure of the triples are that they are understandable by humans and by machines. So a small example of how to create a knowledge graph would be Anna is a person, you describe this relation. Anna also teaches a course. This you describe also this relation, and you could create more relations and description of these objects, like names. You can even create relations between objects, and you can create more and more information. So at the end, these knowledge graphs, small knowledge graphs, can be developed separately, independently, and finally can be also integrated. These knowledge graphs are a representation that are equivalent to this document, to this file. So this file empowers search engines like Google, and if you look for Jose Maria Guedas, you will find out this small info box. So now, why Quechua language? The current distribution of the Quechua language improves our diversity and identity. I'm Quechua, and I think my language preserves my culture, my knowledge, and with my parents and so on, we communicate in Quechua. So basically, it's a happy language that I want to preserve. So what happens with the Quechua language? This language is not present on the web. We cannot type or query or search things on the web in Quechua. That's a bad thing. So also how these technologies like the internet or the web change or perhaps shape our experience. So we as a Quechua community, we are not being represented. We have not been represented in the web or in the internet. So basically, we don't know where and how to save our knowledge. We are not part of the internet or the web, and our language is not supported by any technology. So my main goal is to build a Quechua language-based knowledge graph. How I can do that is first define a process. This process is carefully defined in the book, so you can read it easily. And it starts with the knowledge creation. So how we start creating knowledge? First, we have to understand what vocabulary or ontology we will use for create this knowledge. The main and well-known ontologies are on the web are schema.org and Wikidata, and we could start exploring their schemas, their vocabulary, and we could get this Quechua knowledge graph, translating and transforming their information, their ontology and schemas into a Quechua. Then we have to host this knowledge somewhere. So the Wikidata currently hosts all the Wikipedias. So it hosts the Wikipedia in English, in Spanish, and in all the languages, and also hosts many information about places, images, publications, taxonomies, etc. So also, before we publish this knowledge on the Wikidata, we have to make sure that the data that we are publishing is correct and it's complete. So we have to evaluate our knowledge, we have to curate, we have to correct the errors, we have to complete the missing values, and so on. Afterwards, we have this knowledge base stored in the Wikidata, and we can empower some technology like a Quechua Wikipedia, we can empower a Quechua search engine and chatbots. In this case, we have a chatbot that speaks, okay, Google, my Peter Machu Picchu Kachken, and the chatbot doesn't know the answer because the chatbot probably doesn't speak in Quechua. So we want to change that, and we want to empower technology that can support the Quechua language as well. So what are the next steps and ideas? Currently, I'm hardly working on the Wikipedia in Quechua, trying to create more articles and to fill in information on them. And you could also participate. Please visit Quechua Wikipedia, and you could read a lot, and you could learn new vocabulary, and you could also contribute there. Also, I want to promote the Quechua info boxes in order that when you search for something, you could also retrieve information on your own language, in this case, Quechua. Also, one of the ideas is to make sure that the Google search engine can be also provided in Quechua language, not only in the English or in Spanish. So, and also, I developed some chatbots that you could explore and you could watch.
Aquí tienes la última versión de Quipu. Aliyanchu. Imata Wilaikiman. Google Niskaka Google Inc. Sutiyur Rorochinap Kamachiskan, Yiumanta Asuan Hatun Internet Maskanam. Internet in Lis Simipi Interconnected Networks Tinkinapuska Yikakuna Yiftiximuintimpi Antanyikik Yikakunapan Chahatun Yikanmi. Antañiquiqui cha computadora, in Lis Simipi, computer, Castilla Simipi, computadora, ordenador, Niskaka Welakunata, información Niskakunata, Wakichiskawan, programiskawan, Yupana Yamkanawan, Wakichi, programa Niskawan, Yamkapuita Atik, Pinchikilawan, Nam.
The chatbot in the website was developed 1 year ago and it is still in development. But in the right side, you could see a chatbot that you could interact and you could ask questions, and it could retrieve information from Wikipedia in Quechua, so you could understand and learn more vocabularies. In this case, we asked for computer and what are the parts of the computer, the components of computer, and you could easily learn new vocabulary here. And the chatbot is also very friendly and can get you in. So some takeaway to finish my presentation is I went with this project or with this idea to facilitate the sustainable development of cultural and heritage knowledge in developing countries as Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, and the other countries that are part also of our Quechua community. And I also want to decrease the digital illiteracy because we have seen that without internet, without the web, we cannot be educated nowadays. It's kind of hard to say, but it has been a problem during this pandemic as well. We want to, or I want to reduce inequalities given this technology to the people or the indigenous communities, and I also hopefully improve the quality of education. And thank you for your attention, and happily I will answer your questions.